All right, here we are. What's up, everyone? My name is AJ Wrights Crypto. I do appreciate y'all sticking around. Sorry, a little bit late. I wanted to start the stream a little bit earlier. Had some running around to do today. I do have an Ask AJ Anything video currently uploading on YouTube. I will put that video out shortly after the live stream. I know why a lot of you are here for this live stream. This is a big one because the first of 4 Tesla giveaways, the draw for the first one is during this show, and I am beyond excited to be in a place where I'm giving not just 1 but 4 Teslas to my audience this year. This is absolutely insane. Of course, we will do that towards the end of the show. Really looking forward to that. And it's not just, there's actually 16 winners altogether for the draw today. I believe there are 5 people winning $200 in VeChain. 10 people will be winning VeChain merch packs, and 1 person is going to drive away in a brand new Tesla Model 3. If you don't want the car, you can accept the value of the car in crypto, and that will all be taken care of. So yeah, very excited to get into that. Got a little bit of news, got a handful of charts, couple things I want to talk about today. But first, yeah, I did get some pretty strange looking boxes in the mail today, and I do feel the need to open them up. We got 2 boxes that look like this. All right, we got to do this on the show. We're opening up. It's every day's Christmas around here, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to everybody in the chat. First of all, DGen, Ape Dev, JLJI, Gene Jackson, Mike Lowry, SWFL Crypto, Juwan, everybody. You guys are awesome. Thanks for being here. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, all the things. First of all, I need to get my handy dandy stiletto. Okay. All right. Let's open up this first box. What could it be? Oh man, I'm so excited. It's Christmas. All right, got that one. These things are kind of on there. At least they pack them good. That's how you know. I get the tape out of the way. Hopefully I'm not cutting precious things here. All right. 1 second. This is a mission. Maybe I should have started opening them before the show, but no, I wanted to unbox them on the show. Just to do it. Why not, right? Oh, this is so sweet. Look at that. No way. Okay. Got the second layer of protection here. We're getting there. They really do pack these things. All right, there it is. And boom. Shout out to my friends at cryptochips.io for making me a canvas of my laser eye mutant ape owner grogger.eth. That's me. Whoa. This thing is massive. And thinking like I'm 6'1". Look how big this thing is. I'm going to probably find a way to put that one there. That is just too cool. Big shout out to my friends at Crypto Chips. That is insane. I gotta open the second one. Let me take 5. You want to take 5 minutes to go get some water? Take your time. But I'm opening them on the show. It's my show. I do what I want. All right, so let's get to the next one here. At least the knife is sharp. You need a sharp knife in your life. All right. I got the technique down. This one's a little faster than the last one. I did this one upside down, but that's okay. All right. Cardboard everywhere. Well done. You guys should see the floor in here right now. All right. Oh my God. Dude. Let's go. That is just too clean. This is my forever ape. Very proud of this Bored Ape, by the way. Big shout out to the boys from Crypto Chips. I always wanted to be a member of the Bored Ape Yacht Club. And, you know, once I started to realize, okay, I'm going to do this, I actually waited a little bit for the VeChains. If you watch the show when VeChains and I were doing it together, you know, we watched the floor towards the floor for a while. I actually bought that, kind of reached. I didn't get this one off the floor. It was 36,000 at the time. But I kind of wanted to get an ape that kind of vibed with me, that kind of matched, you know, want to get your ape, you know, and I got my ape. Any ape outside of this one and besides my mutant, you know, I'm okay to buy it and flip it or whatever. I do have a second ape that I intend to flip when the time is right, but this is my forever ape. This is the one I'm going to put on the wall. And yeah, there we go. I'm going to put it right next to the mutant. Very, very cool, man. I'm super excited about that. Shout out to the stiletto and shout out to Crypto Chips, man. I got to give them the this respect they deserve. They've been a sponsor of this channel literally from day one. David has had my back. We met at Rare Evo a couple of years ago, and they, you know, they make like coins, like literally crypto chips, where you can, you know, put your QR code that takes people to your Twitter. You can, you know, like custom NFT canvases right here. You know, literally put into the link of your NFT. I think this is $40 or something like that. Yeah, $40. I'm sure they can get a little bit more, you know, depending on the size and stuff like that. But, you know, they got merch, you know, t-shirts, crypto coins, the levitating spin coin that I have, that's from them. Yeah, they're a really good company, and the custom NFT canvases are just so badass. And, you know, super excited to have opened my Bored Ape and my Mutant Ape. Both are like my forever type picks. I'm never selling those two. Unless I like need to, you know, put a down payment on a house or something. I don't ever see myself selling them. So big shout out to Crypto Chips, man. Very cool. Very, very excited to you know, to be able to have those in the background. So very, very cool stuff. Very cool stuff. All right. Shout out to Glitter Queen says, all I hear is chaos in the other room. Sorry, Jay. I'm just kidding. That's funny. Well, guess what? She can deal with it. All right. That's what that camera's for. That's what that other camera's for. All right. Is VeChain's coming back? Well, it's not. Well, I moved to Washington State. I'm in the PNW now. I live on Orcas Island. VeChain's, he got another lease on his, he got added another year to his spot in Georgia. So he's in Georgia. I'm in Washington. I'm sure that we'll do, you know, shows together, even if it's once every other week, or maybe we'll do once a week. I'm not really sure, but we will still do content together. VeChain is a really good friend of mine, but I moved across the country. So I'm not doing a portfolio update today because today is the Tesla giveaway, but I'm sure I am going to be doing portfolio update videos here very shortly. So I did say this on the previous Ask AJ Anything video. So once we have the baby, which is probably, you know, about a month from now, or, you know, the due date they keep saying is like June 9th, June 10th, something like that. The babies always, for the first pregnancy, they tend to come after the projected date that they give, right? So once we have Aria, and once that is settled and we kind of get into a routine, I have already said, and I'm going to say it now on a live stream, I am going to commit to making one video a year outside of live streams on AJ Writes Crypto. It's a big commitment to do, but I want, you know, how I found my success. Sure, I could really get into the details, but the truth is what did I do? I doubled down on myself. That's how I found my success, and I want to do that again. I want to do that again. And but on YouTube specifically. So, you know, that expect a lot more videos coming, but, you know, how am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to break each week down and have 7 segments. All right. And Ask AJ Anything will be Tuesdays, and one day will be Price Prediction Department, portfolio updates, rate my portfolio, news of the week, whatever, you know what I mean? I can kind of go from there. I'm also going to have a weekly segment on sports betting. Sports betting, I have a video coming up on the channel tomorrow about this, specifically on Polymarket, not like at the casino or on your phone sports betting, but on Polymarket, has really become a passion of mine and a big money maker. I think at the end of the day, what this channel is about how you guys can make money. And I don't want to get distracted from that. I don't want to do content that isn't literally helping you guys make money. All right. And it's May 13th. So far this year, I've made over $200,000 on Polymarket. I've made over $24,000 this month on Polymarket, and it's May 13th. All right. And that's an insane amount of money. And how is this possible? Well, I do have a video coming out kind of explaining some of my strategy tomorrow, and the NBA finals. We are going to kind of continue, more posts about the NBA finals. It's actually kind of bummed. I'm going to kind of catch the end of the game. But the cool thing about Polymarket is one, they are a new sponsor of this channel, but they weren't a sponsor of the channel. They kind of found out about me through the bets and the success that I had. And they were like, wait, this kid he did what? and they consequently, they became the sponsor of the channel. Like, that's how these things work, So, but the cool thing about it is, like, if you go to a casino, right, and you bet, the week 8 game against the Cowboys, win or lose, you're locked into that bet. That's what hurts so many people with sports betting, is that you pick a team, you pick a spread, and you're locked into that bet. Polymarket's completely different from that. So let's say, yesterday or whatever, the Pacers, were a 20%, they were the underdog. There's a 20% chance they're going to win. Well, that means you could buy your shares for them at 20 cents and say at some point during the game, they get a 10-point lead, going into the third quarter. Well, those shares you bought at 20 cents might be at 40 cents or 45 cents or 50 cents. And you can more than double your money during the game, sell your shares. And if the other team hits a buzzer beater at the very end of the game and your team loses, it doesn't matter. It's really think this like you're scalp trading crypto. And this is why I'm so good at Polymarket, because if I buy my shares at 20 cents, I sell my shares at 40 cents, I doubled my money. It doesn't matter who wins or loses the game. And that's why that functionality is why Polymarket's so good. And that functionality is why I've been so good on Polymarket. And for me, the truth is, guys, is that I need to be passionate about what I'm talking about. And the truth is that I'm extremely passionate about sports. And, I'm not saying I'm going to come on and talk football every day. That's not the case. But I am going to do a weekly segment about sports betting, and specifically on Polymarket, because there's and it could be, there was Polymarket. You could bet on the weather. You could have bet on who was going to become the Pope. You can bet on politics. It doesn't just have to be sports. It can literally be anything. And that functionality of you don't have to wait for the game to end to make money. Unlocking that door is what has been why I've been able to be so successful this year. And once I really got into that and figured it out and done it a couple times, and once I really got the ball rolling, I was like, okay, this is awesome. So, that's what I'm up to. A lot of really good money to be made there. And I do have a video coming out on the channel tomorrow about that. And moving forward, once we commit to one video a day for a year, there will be a weekly video about my bets on Polymarket. It could be sports, it could be the weather, but it's going to be something. All right, let's keep the ball rolling here. Big shout out. We got looks like over 120 people on YouTube, 500 on X. Thank you guys for being here. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, all of the things. We are going to do a members only. I wanted to do one last week, guys. This weekend I got food poisoning, and I was out of commission for 3 days. So I do apologize, but we did build a couple of setups in the Telegram group that I put up, the bump and run ideas. Both did really good, and we will go over them during this show. Really quickly here, want to kind of pop into some news really fast. Ethereum, man, surging 70% in May, up over 50% in 7 days, outperforming everything, guys. I'm not going to lie. I did not see this quick of a move coming for Ethereum. And the trading volume on Bitunix for Ethereum is just ridiculous right now. I will certainly be looking into some more Ethereum trades in the Telegram group. And also, just a quick heads up, if anyone has sent an email to get into the Telegram group and I haven't got back to you yet, be patient. We're getting back through everyone. There's a lot of emails to go through, but we will get to you, so don't worry about that. But here is the daily setup for Ethereum. And you can see from the low here, what was this? April 8th, April 9th, just under $1,400. I mean, total top to bottom, Ethereum pumped 95% in 36 days. Right now, 92% in 30. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Obviously, I am curious on, you know, how much more can it keep going at this point. I mean, obviously there is some very cut and dry support resistance levels that you kind of can't ignore with Ethereum. One right here, okay, obviously from this dip, and then really this box right here, that previous range kind of gives away a lot of information with Ethereum. All right, and I think a lot of trade ideas can be derived from this little box of chop here, even if you want to pull a second SR up there. And I kind of think using this range probably is really good, you know, using that high target around 2,800, between 28 and 20, let's just say 28 and 24. Okay, just to have even numbers. I don't care about the ranging between 28 and 24, but the break of that range, I think, is likely to be a significant trade. Also with Ethereum, anytime you see a really sharp, sudden move to the upside, let's look at like a 45-minute chart, right? So what you got to look at is so we have this trend line here. All right, that kind of tested, they kind of draw it like that. It's not perfect, but, you know, close enough, right? And then we have the really sharp move up that started, you know, last week, Wednesday. All right, and we can kind of just draw it like this, kind of connecting this dip here. All right, so this is a strategy that I've been using for a while, that I've been talking about more recently, called a bump and run. So generally what happens, let me put on the EMAs as well. Do I not have my EMAs on? Are you serious? All right, I'll show you how to do it. You go to EMA, you go to indicators, EMA, you click the one that says 20, 50, 100, 200. All right, you go to settings right here, and then you get rid of the 20, you get rid of the 100, you go to the 50, you make it red, turn the you know, the line up and the opacity up all the way. And then you go to the 200, the bottom one, you make this one white, turn the opacity up, make the line thicker. Okay. Because the EMAs are also really important when it comes to this, especially on like the daily chart, because what happens, so this is a really sharp bump and run. And a lot of the times what you do is that if we were to go back to the 45-minute, all right, we have these two angles here. Okay. And whenever, and this is a really sharp angle for Ethereum to run off, but whenever Ethereum breaks this trend line, this older uptrend line becomes the target, but the first target on the daily chart becomes the 50 EMA. And I can show you another example of this on a couple of charts I gave the Telegram group earlier in the week. And, you know, this is definitely something I'm looking at, especially now that Ethereum has put in a higher high. You know, just today, Ethereum, I would say you could do a scalp short alarm at 2610. I'll give you that one live. 2610, that would be a scalp short alarm. And then the bottom of that range right here would be 2409. 2409 would be the bottom of that range. And of course, if you want to set an alarm at the new high, which would be right here, would be 2752. 2752, bam, bam, bam. So you can kind of use these three support resistance alarms paired with the angle, the bump and run idea, to kind of make a decision moving forward with Ethereum. That's how I would move forward navigating this chart. Also, so this is the setup that I gave for Moon Degen. There were some of you talking about this when in the live stream the other day. We covered this chart a couple times, but now it's getting pretty interesting. All right, so here was the initial, see this white line? This was that initial angle up, similar to what Ethereum has done, right? And this was kind of the bump and run. And the bump and run angle is this one back here. But as you can see, it did. So this short alarm did go off, and it didn't come all the way down to the 50 EMA, but it did kind of come to this support resistance level here. And still the loss of this alarm and the loss of the sharp uptrend angle would have been enough to justify a strong short. And that short, to be fair, was worth 16% in 6 hours. Not bad trading. So you can see why I gave that to the Telegram group. And even here on the 2 hour, look at Market Cipher right now. Obviously, if you don't have Market Cipher, you're missing out. The 15% off the link down below in the description. But you see how Market Cipher is coming down the hill. Market Cipher has a down slope on the momentum oscillator. Okay. And it's doing that while the price is pushing to the upside. So we do have a bearish divergence forming here on Market Cipher. So even if we want to kind of reconfigure this bump and run idea to the more recent uptrends, we kind of pull this over like this. All right. So now we have this uptrend here and here. All right. And we still have our yellow uptrend, which is the longer term uptrend. And we could still use this same alarm. 29.4 could be a short alarm. 26.9 is definitely a short alarm. And now this level here where we turned around before, I'm just going to say at 22 cents. It's actually 221 would be a target. And then ultimately, you know, this previous uptrend getting tested again would be the completion of the bump and run. So even if, you know, you get a bump and run and it doesn't come all the way down to your target, you can still use that idea to get really good trades. As you can see, the Telegram group was able, if they were to react to this alarm perfectly, it was a 16% move in 6 hours. I don't expect anyone to get 16% of that move. But if there's a 16% move from an alarm that you react to and you get 7%, 6% of that move, job well done. You just want to trade. And that's really what you're looking at. Another one was Pi. Pi kind of came out of the blue. I noticed that on Bitunix that it had a big up spike in trading volume. Anytime you see a coin kind of out of the ordinary kind of come up in trading volume, you need to target that. You need to target daily top gainers, daily top losers on CoinGecko. We can do that here in a moment. And then you need to kind of write down those coins, which coins are standing out today. If you're trying to target scalp trades, you're trying to get into a trade. You got to figure out which coins are the most volatile right now. And then which of those coins have enough trading volume as well on Bitunix. All right. And if you have a coin that's super volatile and has a big uptick in trading volume, now we can target. And so I didn't even really give support resistance levels to pair with this bump and run idea. I just kind of showed the bump and run on the Telegram group. And also, so in this certain situation on the 2 hour chart, the 50 EMA was what got retested in the bump and run. So, you know, even if you went from the break of the trend line, you know, top to bottom, this trade was actually a 30% dip in 2 hours, or, you know, roughly a 22% short over the course of the next 14 hours. And, you know, that's also if you kind of just ignore that initial trend line, when you're looking at a 2 hour chart and the price is all the way up here and the 50 EMA is all the way down here, why do you think I always tell my traders the 50 EMA is your best friend? And that is a perfect example of what I like to call a pressure trade, because the price is so far above the 50 EMA that there's no way it's not going to come back down and test the 50. And that's certainly perfectly what happened here on Pi. But with the local uptrend being broken, that would have kind of been your sign. Okay, all right. So now what? It still does have leverage volume. So we're going to support resistance, local high at 135.5. Not going to type these in, but I'm just going to say them. 135.5. Big support resistance here. 106. Floor down here, 90 cents. Let's zoom into 23 minutes. Okay, so I would even maybe consider this little range right here. You see how this level kind of has back here, right back here, support resistance right there, and this local top of this little box right there. That is certainly a level that I would suggest. And if you wanted to tighten the top of the range, you could even pull in from here. So I would say the current conditional range, long alarm 128, 1.281, short alarm 1.156. That's how I would navigate Pi moving forward. And if you want to add in this local uptrend for Confluence, you can do that as well. So that's how I'm going to look at that one here moving forward. I will update this chart with the levels in the Telegram group a little bit after the show. Good news today. There's some good news and some bad news. I know a lot of people are bad news first kind of people. I'm a good news first kind of guy. The good news first is that Steak and Shake features Bitcoin payments on the website in all locations starting on May 16th. So in 3 days, in America, Steak and Shake, you can pay with Bitcoin online. And these are the types of stories that remove the shadow of a doubt in the back of my mind. Because I don't know about you guys, but I was very much here, fully paying attention for 2020 leading into 2021. And when you start to see these types of stories, this country is doing this thing so more people can use crypto. This state is doing this thing so more people can use crypto. This business is making crypto more accessible. This is slowly but surely the tiptoe crawl into what, the term we call mass adoption. And it's happening before our eyes. And if you really don't think that we're going to have an absolute firework of a bull run this year, I don't know what to tell you. Why? Because Steak and Shake accepts Bitcoin, guys. Do the math. Unfortunately, the bull run that we want is going to take some time. Of course, we've been pausing a little bit with the Fed. I believe the past 3 Fed meetings have all been pauses. We are going to need that quantitative easing. We want the money printer to go on. We want the M2 money supply to go up. Of course, if there's more money in the world, very simply, more money will go into the markets. More people will risk money if there's more money to risk. Very simple. But the SEC unfortunately delayed the decision making on the Grayscale Solana trust. I will still take a quick look at the Solana chart at some point during this show. But, here's a quote right here. Institution of proceedings is appropriate at this time in view of the legal and policy issues raised by the proposed rule change. Institution of proceeding does not indicate the commission has reached any conclusion with respect to any of the issues involved. Basically saying we need more time. Okay, so meanwhile, the commission has requested all interested persons to provide the written views over the next 21 days. On the other hand, the agency issued a 35-day deadline for anyone to file a rebuttal to anyone else's submission. So we got some time here. We definitely have some time until we see a move, because guys, we knew that the Bitcoin ETFs, the Bitcoin spot ETF was kind of blow open the Pandora's box for crypto. And then we have Bitcoin and Ethereum. So it's kind of been, which altcoins are going to get in line. And then I feel that once we start seeing normal altcoin ETFs get approved, you're going to get a car, you're going to get a car, you're going to get a car. And we're just going to kind of see it, kind of go open from there. And this wasn't just for Solana. This was actually for Solana, Litecoin, so SEC delays Solana and Litecoin as Dogecoin and BlackRock proposals enter public comment. So guys, there are still steps being taken. So public comment periods have opened for BlackRock, Bitcoin ETF redemption model, and the 21 shares Dogecoin ETF. So I feel that this decision isn't the end of the world, though, because the SEC could have denied the Bitcoin and Litecoin ETF. They just delayed them. So the fact that it got delayed isn't the end of the world. I still feel that, we very possibly, what I'm saying is that the stars are once again aligning for the end of this year to be the fireworks, for all the decisions to come in, for the Fed to turn around, for the ETFs to get approved, for, the Bitcoin, reserves to really get rolling. And the truth is, guys, at the end of the day, whales are accumulating. What are whales doing? Accumulating. Even right here, Cardano whales on a buying spree as ADA emerges one of the top gainers in the Grayscale digital large cap fund. And that's not a surprise to me at all. And why is that? I had an interesting phone call the other day with my friend Wes from Rare Evo. I will be speaking at Rare Evo this summer in Las Vegas. Really looking forward to that. I'm really hoping to use that as, you know, a step to speak at more conferences. I'm even speaking about crypto at a high school here in a couple weeks. So I'm really looking forward to do kind of more public stuff like that. But I talked to Wes from Rare Evo, and Grayscale is going to be in attendance at Rare Evo. And although Rare Evo has become over the years a more you know, potluck of altcoin type conference, it started as a Cardano conference. And some people still think of it as a Cardano conference, although it really has opened its horizons to other altcoins. I mean, I interviewed the CMO of Algorand at Rare Evo last year. So of course there's other altcoins in attendance, but it did start as a Cardano conference. And the fact, this doesn't surprise me at all, because I know Grayscale is going to be in attendance at the conference, doing panels, interacting with Charles and, you know, other Cardano projects. And I'd love to see Cardano in the, as to be a darling in the eyes of the institution. So I do think that, you know, some of Cardano, it kind of, I'm not saying underperforming, but I'm not saying it underperformed the last run, but it definitely didn't do what it could have done. And I think that when we really see a proper bull run, which we haven't seen since 21, Cardano's going to be a leader. I still stand by that. Shout out to the Ada gang. It is that simple. All right, let me check the chat here. Haven't done that in a while. Let me also get a refresh here on the YouTube. We got about 100 likes. So there's 99 likes exactly. Be the 100th person to smash the like button on this video. I really would appreciate it. Oh, actually, someone just said 100 likes. Alt season confirmed. I love. There it is. You guys are awesome. Let's get it to 150. I'd love to see it. Also, I did see Desert Crypto, been in the Grogger gang for 11 months. Desert, you're a legend, man. I do appreciate your constant dedication to the, you know, the Grogger community. Love to see those people that have, you know, been not just subscribers but members of the channel. You're a saint, bro. Thanks for putting that in there in the chat. Let me see what's going on here in the chat. I kind of got to click this out of the way here. Okay. So, shout out to everybody. Got Mike Lowry. We got Crypto Carter, Gavin, Crypto Steph, Sanam, Jax, Ed, HD. HD said, AJ, can we get a good Hbar update? Yeah, sure, man. I actually recently just did a tweet about Hbar right here. And I do want to kind of follow up on this right here. Hbar about to go boom. All right. Inverse head and shoulders neckline is at 0.5 Fibonacci. In other words, hack into your parents' bank account and buy under 22 cents while you still can. Shout out to the Hbar variance. And right there, very, very simple. At the time when I put this tweet up, Hbar was at 214. Inverse head and shoulders daily chart with a bull cross incoming. We kind of had a death cross that didn't matter, and then it turned around and hooked pretty quick. And the fact that when you see like a death cross, and it pushes, that's like what you don't want. But when you see a death cross and then like it hovers at the same price, you know that the reversal is coming, and it's probably a good time to buy. I've been saying, you know, personally, I've been accumulating the past month and even a little more now. I'm still not ready to say I'm putting all my dry powder in because I haven't. I'm forever the pragmatist, and I don't know if I'll even if I'll ever have all my dry powder in at once. I don't know if I will, because you never know. There's always, there is a situation here where I'm going to look at Hbar, then I'll look at Solana. Let me pull the chart. I had Pi up here, Hbar. All right, let's see what we got. Try to find one that's not like completely destroyed. Okay, yeah, this is the same one that I did the tweet with. Okay, so here is Hbar. Fibonacci pulled from the swing low. All right, right now it's at 21.6. It was at 21.4 when I did the tweet. It is having a little bit of a fight here at the 0.5 Fibonacci level, which makes sense. That is obviously a pretty big spot for support resistance. But yeah, to make my point here, I'll get rid of the head and shoulder stuff. Oh, because I have a brush on. That's why I just made a bunch of dots. Well, great job, AJ. Yeah, just draw a bunch of dots. That'd be fantastic. All right. So what I'm saying here is that you see here on the EMA, get the circle out of the way to really zoom in on this so I can show you what I'm talking about. So anytime you get a death cross on an exponential moving average, when the 50 goes under the 200, that's really not what you want. You don't want to watch a coin you're holding, have a death cross, because sometimes death crosses can last hundreds of days, and coins just get destroyed. I mean, there have been examples on every chart. I mean, look at this death cross here. All right, right there, back in 2024, June 24, that death cross. Actually, let me measure the price. So the day of the death cross, the price was at almost 8 cents. It fell over the next 129 days. It fell 45%, and it took 147 days from death cross to bull cross. 147 days, and I was kind of using that same measuring stick about 150 days, death cross to bull cross. I wonder how much it was from bull cross to death cross. Yeah, 142 days. So about 140, 150 days, it's been death cross, bull cross, death cross, bull cross. And that has not been the case from before. But I think you have to kind of adapt to the playbook of the now. And I'm actually, I didn't think it would happen so fast. But death cross, the bulls cross this time was only 28 days, which makes me think that, we had our big December run. We had our big shakeout, and we are going to turn around from here throughout the rest of this year, and melt faces. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Is there a chance we might do one of these first? That's possible. You never know. There is kind of a bearish divergence here on the daily, and I'd really like to see Hbar personally get above that 0.5 Fibonacci level. But to see the point though is that after the death cross happened, to see the price just hover, like the range of, if you look at if you think price action, like right here, the 50 EMA fell 10% in 13 days right there. If you kind of think of the price action of the EMA itself, the 50 EMA ranged, I don't know, 1% in 17 days. And the 200 EMA was basically a straight line at 18 cents. How long was that for? 15 days. So anytime you see an EMA, just even if it's after a death cross, just kind of flat line like that, that's how you kind of know that things are going to scoop. And there's kind of even, obviously, we have our inverse head and shoulders. We've been aware of that. Another thing I want you to be aware of on Hbar is this uptrend here. That is quite important. And another thing I want you to pay attention to is the longer uptrend here, because these are two different angles. Okay. So ultimately, I would, even if we see the sharper angle get disrespected, we could kind of bump and run that idea that we hope it bounces off of this one if the first angle gets, deleted. Which could happen because obviously things have been on a run from the very bottom, from the wick bottom to the tippy top. Hbar did pump 82% in 35 days, and now we are kind of sitting at the top of that range on the 2 hour. There is a lot of bearish divergence ideas across the board on 2 hour charts, or even on daily charts, obviously, because we've had a good month. We've pumped for the past month, but immediately what is yelling at me on the Hbar chart right now is this level right here. This level right here. That is the level for Hbar. This is the level for Hbar right now. 20 cents. 0.201. I'm just going to go ahead and say 20 cents. All right. And, obviously it got shut down once, twice, 3, 4 times. Well, even you go further back, 5, 6. You know, you get my point. This level has been rejected at 20 cents time and time again throughout April, throughout May. And then, of course, Hbar, we get above it, we test it. We get above it, we test it. Since, you know, once we get above it, we still tested it twice since May. Once we got above it on May 9th, we tested it on May 11th and May 12th. Okay, so this, I don't think we're done with this level yet, is the point I'm making. And this white line you see right here, that's actually the Fibonacci. I'm going to get rid of that for a second. So this support resistance level would be the previous high, 21.9, just about 22 cents. And then the local high, 22.8, which is about 23 cents. So those levels are what I'm looking at on Hbar right now. So 228, 228, 22 cents, and 20 cents. Those are the levels I'm looking at on Hbar right here, right now. And I do want to pull my Fibonacci back on that chart. Okay, that's what we're looking at on Hbar. I do want to look at Solana. Solana has been running 183. Love to see it. And guys, this is another one that, you know, guys, rounded bottoms pay the bills, ladies and gentlemen. It is that simple. I mean, I don't know what else to say, you know, like, so let's kind of look at this uptrend right here. It's rock solid from the $96 low on April 7th. Solana is up 91% in 36 days. Damn, we are killing it. I love to see it, but I'm still not completely convinced. All right, I do want to see, you know, kind of this level. Look at, I know I have a lot of graffiti up here. I'm going to ignore all that, okay? Because when Solana had the December, you know, the end of the 2025 pump, you know, the early 2025 pump, and then it started to come down the hill. You know, it was around, you know, just under $300, right? As it came down the hill, sorry, my mouse is running around so much. As it came down the hill, this was a crucial spot right here. Right here. And even back here, it flirted with this level as well. But right here, it hit this level 4 times before it lost it. And once it lost it, you know, see, and this is kind of why the 50 EMA is so important, because see how the price action trades under the 50 EMA, like no matter what, that's like a dead giveaway of bearish continuation. And that level is at 188.7, 188.9. All right. Let's just say 188.9. That is the biggest deal for Solana support resistance. And if Solana breaks that level and holds that level, that would kind of take us into the next value area, so to speak, you know. So locally, another support resistance level I'm kind of focused on is this little low here, kind of local low 165. And then I'll zoom in to give you like the range levels. It is above this previous high at 180. And then the previous range low was 168.7. So keep in mind, we have this kind of macro uptrend, very important. All right. The conditional range it's in right now has that historical support resistance level here at 188.9. That would be a long alarm. A scalp short alarm could be 180 or 180.4. And then the bottom of the previous range was 169.1. And the very bottom of that range is 165.6. So that is kind of, these 4 alarms are what I'm focused on with Solana right now, without forgetting this uptrend to join the party as well. So there we go. There's some technical analysis. Love going over the charts. It is a passion of mine. Very good at it. Do it for a living. But definitely, guys, we got over 171 people on YouTube. You know, it says 1,300 on Twitter, but I don't think they're all concurrent, but the number sure does look good. So I appreciate anybody watching on Twitter. Make sure you smash. The GRT is pumping. No, not without me. No, baby, go back down. Go back down. No. I'm sure Jada's happy. I'm sure Jada's happy. Let's look at that. I know you can't see it yet. 1 second. I actually just answered an Ask AJ Anything question about the graph. That video will come out shortly after this live stream. Yeah, I don't even really need all of that. I just need the local. Yeah, obviously, guys, inverse head and shoulders. Bloop, 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 bloop. Right there on the graph. I did talk about that on the last show. Neckline was at 10.6. Measured move. Takes us, of course, to support resistance around 14.8, almost 15 cents. From the neckline to that level would be a 39% run. We've already got 20% of that move captured, although there is daily bullish to bearish divergence on the daily chart. Do you know why? Because it's the perpetual contract on Coinbase. That makes sense. So what we need to focus on here is that we have this longer term uptrend happening. All right, we have big support resistance at 10.6. We have the more immediate uptrend here. We could, kind of infer a bump and run idea here, possible. So I would say trade alarms for the graph would be obviously 10.6, 11.11, 0.111. High 13 cents. And if you want to tighten the range with this right here from the previous high would be 12.5. So the range between 13 and 12.5 works with the immediate. If we lose 12.5 and lose the sharp uptrend, you can target range low at 11 cents. And then if it breaks that, you could target the previous high at 10.6 and then obviously the bottom of the uptrend. But yeah, the graph is running right now. Love to see it. What's Algorand doing? Just pay me an Algo. Nothing too crazy. 24. It did pump today a little bit, but it's kind of still fighting in that range. Algorand really needs to get above 26 cents. That's the number for Algorand. And of course, VeChain. Got to look at VeChain. Big sponsor of the channel. Both VeChain and Algorand. Couldn't do what I do without them. Thank you for to all the people involved. So VeChain fighting to get above previous highs at 3.3, almost 3.4. Does look like it could be forming a local head and shoulders on the 2-hour. Don't really want to see that. Of course, if you're talking, I think we're looking at the lines are Fibonacci. Yep. And this is the 786. I mean, guys, it did break out of, this long-term downtrend. And from the bottom here on, it literally, went back to the same low from the beginning of November. And let's keep that in mind, right? Let's keep that in mind that from this white circle in the bottom left, VeChain went from just under 2 cents to almost 8 cents in 28 days, 317% in 28 days. Don't tell me VeChain is dead. Absolutely not. VeChain was a top 10 performer in the December pump, and I believe history will repeat itself. Similar to a lot of charts, there is bearish divergence forming on the daily, and it's not the end of the world to me if it comes up here, gets rejected at the 786, which is the Fibonacci level it's fighting at right now. But as long as it comes in, kind of respects this new uptrend that it's forming, that's all that really matters. If this becomes, a broadening uptrend, that's fine. But as long as it stays in this uptrend, I'm happy with that. Local trade levels, obviously big support resistance at this low at 0.284. Got local low 0.292. This previous high 0.322, and then local high at 0.34. Those are the levels I'm looking at VeChain. Pause that down, slow it all down if you want to go back and go over that. But perfect. Amazing, amazing, amazing. All right, checking out the chat. GB wants a Doge update. I will do Doge very quickly. And then after Doge, we are giving away a motherfucking Tesla on this channel. Let's go. I'm too excited. But GB wants to look at Doge, everybody. No Teslas yet. No Teslas yet. We got to look at Doge. Let me pull the chart. Good old Doji. Wonder what the old Doge is up to today. What's that old Doge looking at today? All right. So this is a perfect example of a bump and run that I think is likely to play out. So we kind of got this, local uptrend forming, and then we have the sharp uptrend right here. See this sharp uptrend, and then if it loses this one, it's gonna retest that one, and that would be, you know, I'd say if it lost it around 22.7, it'd probably be about a 20% dip back to 18.3. That makes sense. That's probably what's going to happen. Not to mention that high was faced with a lower high. So when you zoom into Doge on the 23, it's actually forming a pennant. So right here by Friday, Doge will be forced to either break out of the lower highs or break down of the higher lows. Generally, what happens is whatever uptrend or whatever trend line has been lasting longer. So this trend has been around for 2 days and 23 hours. This one has been around, roughly, 7 days. So it's more likely that this one holds generally. That's not an every time thing, but whatever one has been around for the least amount of time, that one usually breaks. But by Friday, we will see that. I would definitely alarm that pennant. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'd react to with Doge right now. If you want to react to, these highs here, 25 cents. If you want to set an alarm at, big support resistance, 21.7. I mean, I would just work with that range. I would turn these yellow, all right, to kind of separate the trend lines from the support resistance in our minds. All right, so I would rock the pennant, and then I would rock the levels, because the truth is that you see how we're at the point already where no matter what happens with the pennant, if these support resistance alarms go off, the pennant already broke. So these alarms become confirmation. And once Doge got up into this box of chop, Doge has been trading inside of a 15% range for the past 3 days and 18 hours. So if you want to try to micromanage this 15% range, I mean, you can scalp trade that if you want, but the bigger move for Dogecoin is going to come from the break. And these support resistance levels are also confirmation for the breakout or breakdown of the pennant. So that's why these levels are so important. I would say these are trade alarms. For Doge, I'm going to say 25.1. I'm going to type these out for you guys. 251, definitely a trade alarm. And also, if you want to add an alarm to the local high, I don't hate that, because it did wick up to 25.9. If you want to add 25.9 as an awareness alarm, I don't hate that idea. But really, 25.1, it would be the long alarm. And then short alarm at 216, 0.216. And of course, yes, like if you wanted to really zoom in and tighten the range, from support resistance, like here at like 23.3, you could do that. But the bigger move is going to come from the break of the pennant, and 25.1 and 21.6 are the confirmation levels for the break of the pennant. And if 21.6 breaks, the target is the bottom of this uptrend bump and run type idea, maybe around 18 cents, something like that. So there you go. Covered our Dogecoin really quick. So guys, we are here. We are there. Do we like Cardano? Hell yeah. Do we like Cardano? Hell yeah. We like Cardano. Of course we like Cardano. Been around. I'm not looking at the total 3. I'm doing all that later. Okay. I'm not doing Bitcoin dominance. Not doing optimism. Maybe we'll do those tomorrow. But right now, this show's been going on for 53 minutes. You guys are awesome. Got over 160 people watching on YouTube. You guys are the best. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. I want to do a quick refresh to see how many likes we're at on YouTube. 134 on YouTube. Would love to see it to get to 150. You know what? I'm not giving away a Tesla until it gets to 150. Like, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to be that guy, but I would appreciate it. Banana bread, dude. Wait, banana bread? I like banana bread. Well, I like banana bread. I don't know why you're talking about that in the chat, but I do like banana bread. Okay. But yeah, it is time, guys. It's time to give away. It's time to give away this damn Tesla. All right, let's do this. So let's start at the beginning. So this is the final finished giveaway. We had almost 16,000 entries. Not bad. And I also think, really, I knew that this was going to be a challenge, kind of from a marketing perspective, and it's difficult to market something like, it's harder than you think to market something like this. You think something like this would market itself. It really doesn't, because like you have to be credible. People have to believe you. You know, it's kind of beyond just like, you know, just tweeting about it. I mean, I like hired people to put QR codes around different cities. I had people passing out flyers after fights, you know, I did interviews, talking to other accounts, trading retweets and stuff like that. Like, it was a big challenge. And actually to do this first Tesla giveaway was a big learning experience as a content creator. It really was. And I think that I can do better than the next couple times. But I think I learned a lot about what to do and what not to do when doing a big giveaway like this. And it was obviously very effective. 16,000 signups. That's fucking amazing. But I think we're going to do better on the next ones. I think we're going to do better on the next one. So here we go. We go here to sweepwidget.com. As you can see, this is a live website. I'll just prove that by clicking dashboard or news sweepstakes. All right, create a sweepstakes, stuff like that. This is Sweep Widget. I really like this platform. It's pretty rock solid. So here we can go to, so right here, live draw. We're going to click on live draw. And I'm doing all these steps just to show, it's legit. You can't cheat. So what prize would you like to allocate to the winners? Tesla Model 3. So let's do the VeChain merch packs first. Randomly draw 10 winners. Randomly pick 10 winners. Click go. All right, so pick another winner. Wait, I'm trying to show it on the screen. Who won? Live draw. Oh, okay. There we go. Winners right here. Sophie. Let me get. Oh, yeah. You guys can see. So Sophie Vict, Boxy Fan, White Benja. I'm not saying the numbers. Delio Quizbert, Enem Bernard Akpan, Brandon Diaz, Janamil Christian, Ogre. Hey, I know Ogre. Winning the merch pack. Fuentes and Mike. Those right there are the winners of the VeChain merch packs. All right, let me screenshot those. And of course, I believe it automatically sends them emails. If not, I'll double check and send them myself, but I'm pretty sure it randomly sends out emails. That's weird that it does it like that, because I thought it would just show it right away. All right, so let's do $200 in VeChain. Pick 5 winners. Randomly pick 5 winners. Boom. Does it have to load? Okay, I just clicked away too quickly. That makes sense. And the winners are Okems, Alvaro Munoz, B. Lewis 56446, Yubong Onguidi, and Santosh Shapira for the $200 in VeChain. Let me get a screenshot of that. Add to photos. Okay, and pick another winner. Live draw. And this is it. So the Tesla Model 3, 1 of 1. Oh, man, this is crazy. Oh, my God. How did RJ says, oh, dang, I did not register. I'm out. Ouch, bro. You had 5 weeks. Hold on. RJ, don't go anywhere. Come back, because I'm doing 3 more Tesla giveaways this year. And the last one to end the year out is rumored to be a Cybertruck. We're giving away a Cybertruck, okay? Calm down, RJ. Don't go anywhere. Come back, dude. We love you. Come on back. Come on back. No big deal. All right. Hey, Santos Shepra right there in the house just won $200. Santos, did you just get an email from Sweep Widget? Let me know. Let me know. Yeah, you says I got 200 vets. Congratulations. But did you just receive an email from Sweep Widget? I don't know if it does it automatically or if I have to reach out. But I'm sure I can figure that out, because this is the first one that we've done. All right. So here we go, guys. This is the time. I'm stoked on Ogre winning the merch. That's pretty cool. Shout out to my homie Ogre. This is it. This is the biggest moment in the channel of AJ Writes Crypto. In the next minute here, I'm giving away a brand new Tesla Model 3 to someone out there. And if you don't want the car, we'll give you the crypto. All good. Either way. Either way. But guys, I just want to say that it means the world to me to be able to do this. It really does. It really does. I don't have 1 million subscribers. I'm not the largest crypto content creator in the world, but that doesn't mean I can't do what I can to give back to the community that I've built. And regardless of numbers, regardless of going viral or not going viral, regardless of that, I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm going to keep creating content. I love doing this for a living. And I have found success on the charts and in the money making department is way more important to me than the numbers on YouTube. That's what I set out to do. And now that I have done that, it is extremely important to me to find out ways to give back to the audience, to give back to you guys. So you bet your bottom dollar that these Tesla giveaways are just the beginning. I want to be, let me say this flat out so everyone understands what I'm doing. I'm going to be the Mr. Beast of crypto. I'm going to be the Mr. Beast of crypto. It's that simple. And right here, right now, on this channel, in my new studio with nothing on the walls yet, we're going to give away a damn Tesla. Let's do this. You have not gotten an email yet. All right. I will follow up, Shepra, on how that all works. All right. Here we go. So here are all the winners so far. 5 people have won $200 in VeChain. Shepra is in the chat. Love to see that. Got Ogre is one of the 10 winners of a VeChain merch packs. Love to see that. And this is it. Randomly pick one winner for a brand new Tesla Model 3. Randomly pick one winner. The button has been clicked. The dice have been rolled. Someone's bull run. Sherry Mill 83932 just won a damn Tesla. I hope that person's in the chat. I would love to see it. Big congratulations to Sherry Mill. That's not a name that I recognize. Not sure where. I'm actually really interested. Where did you sign up? Did you see a QR code on Twitter? Did you see one on the street in Seattle? Did you? Where did you sign up? But big congratulations to Sherry. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, I love to see. I'm definitely going to reach out, and I'm really interested to figure out where she signed up. Was she already a follower? How she found out about the giveaway? That's amazing because Sherry's going home in a brand new Tesla Model 3. Big congrats to all the winners. But guys, if you did not win today, fret not. This is just the beginning. There are 3 more Tesla giveaways this year. The last one's going to be a Cybertruck. Also, there's a rumor going around that I'm going to give away a mutant ape. Someone's going to get a mutant ape this year from me. I'm going to give a mutant away at Ape Fest. So make sure you stick around for that as well. Bob in the chat, the homie Bob says, I identify as Sherry. Oh, man. Yo, Bob is the man. Bob is the man. Coach Hugo says, I'm destined for the Cybertruck. I hope so, man. I really hope that you are. I also, Seth in the chat, AJ, I lost access to the Telegram group and I went back in. Yeah, just send me an email and we'll work it out. Sorry, I don't know why that happened. I don't remove anyone from the group ever. Yeah, that's strange. But yeah, let me know. But yeah, that's it, guys. That's it. We have picked a winner, Sherry. Here's the thing, though, ladies and gentlemen. I do have to say this, that the winner has, I believe, 72 hours to reach to. I'm going to figure out the email situation. But what I thought, I was under the impression that if you win a prize from the way we did the terms and conditions, is that if I say, hey, Ogre, you want a merch pack, and we reach out to you and you don't respond in 72 hours, it comes back and we do it again. So if Sherry, I'm going to figure out right now, I'm going to close this stream and figure out how the emails go out, when the emails go out, how the winners get contacted. But if any of these prizes, whether it's merch, $200 in VeChain, or a damn car, if people don't respond in 72 hours, the prize comes back. So that's what, Sherry, I hope you're watching the live stream. You better be looking for an email here pretty quick. So there you go, guys. So so there's still a chance, Corey. And if she does message me in 5 minutes, there's still 3 more chances this year. Make sure you stick around and keep watching AJ Writes Crypto. I do have an Ask AJ Anything video coming out on YouTube here. Actually, let me check on YouTube Studio. Let me see if it finished uploading. Yep, it finished uploading. I'm going to put that video out at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock West Coast. So that video is coming out in 10 minutes. Make sure you check out that video. I have been putting a lot of effort into them. And the Ask AJ Anything segment has been really cool. So basically, if you want to literally send me an email, ask me anything. I'll pick 4 or 5 of them and answer them every week. It's a weekly segment I'm doing every Tuesday. If you want to submit a question for Ask AJ Anything, send an email to ajalphagroup@gmail.com. And that's also the same email to sign up for the Telegram group with if you want to sign up for the Telegram group. Very cool. So guys, I do want to say big shout out to Sunny Lou from VeChain. Guys, if you have not watched the long form podcast that I did with Sunny, you really should check it out. So much insight to not just VeChain, not just VBetter, but like to crypto and what's to come. Sunny sees 10 miles past everyone else down the road. And it's important to remember that these giveaways wouldn't be possible without Sunny. My channel is, and what I'm able to do is absolutely doors unlocked because of Sunny Lou and VeChain. And I'm beyond grateful for him as a friend, for him as, someone I look up to as he's like a mentor of mine, and he's making this stuff possible. And it's absolutely insane that, at the level we're working together at, and, and learn about VBetter DAO. They're literally giving, if you want to earn some free crypto, if you didn't win in this giveaway, well, go check out VBetter DAO. You can earn free crypto for drinking a cup of coffee in the morning, or for going on a walk, or for charging an electric vehicle, or pretty soon there's going to be a workout to earn app coming. VBetter is insane. Absolutely insane. If you want to earn free crypto, you can do it every day on VBetter. And that is the point of these giveaways, is to not just help people find AJ Writes Crypto, but it's also to help people learn about VBetter DAO. And Sunny is literally incentivizing the world to earn free crypto by doing simple actions that you probably already do every day anyway. So big shout out to Sunny. None of this would be possible without him. I'd like to thank all the other sponsors of this channel. We got VeChain, Market Cypher, Bitunix, Algo, Polymarket. Shout out to Ernest from Decrypt Tax. Guys, if you have not done your crypto taxes this year, I do have a new sponsor of the channel called Decrypted.tax. My buddy Ernest Lee, top-notch tax guy. If you've extended to October, make sure you click the link down below. He is an absolute killer. If you do a lot of trading, a lot of NFTs, and you're worried about DeFi taxes and stuff like that, take it up with Ernest. He'll answer all your questions. He answers all. He's been in the game forever. Does a really good job. And he's a newer sponsor to this channel. So big shout out to Decrypted Tax, and we really appreciate them. And last shout out. Shout out to my homie David from CryptoChips.io for making these awesome canvases of my Mutant Ape and of my Bored Ape. Can't wait to put them on the wall behind me, because I do need some things to put on the wall behind me in my new studio here. So very cool, guys. That is absolutely that's the show. Been a really good one. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Big shout out to Nick, SWFL Crypto, 110 Productions, Hugo, Kyle, everybody that watched for today's show. Guys, come back tomorrow. This is what I love to do. I am forever going to teach people about crypto. You know, I think and it's also, I'm forever going to continue to give back to this community. I've always have done giveaways. Even when I was barely making money at Hit Network, I would still find a way to give away $100 in Algorand that week because I want to get people excited. I want to rally the troops. I want people to understand that, you know, it's about hope, man. And I think that to know that it's possible, to know that, to see someone that also had nothing to be able to turn it around in a couple years and put some insane numbers on the board. I want to not just show people that there's hope and that you can do it too, but I want to teach you guys how to fish the best way I can. So, sometimes if my show isn't as fun to watch, or if I'm not as controversial as some other crypto creators, that's fine. But I'm literally giving you the exact levels, the exact alarms that I'm using for my trades. Like, not all of it is fun and hype and great, but some of it is kind of like school. It's like, let's sit down and learn some things. And I know sometimes it's hard to do that every single day, but guys, I implore you that the followers that have been with me, especially in the Telegram group for the past year now, my Telegram group has already made some millionaires, has already made a handful of millionaires. My Telegram group has already paid off mortgages, has paid off cars, has paid for birthdays and Christmas presents and everything else. I would not do this for a living. I could just day trade myself and just sport bet myself and be fine. I could retire tomorrow if I wanted to. I really could. But I do this part for a living because I'm good at this part. My success is one thing. Me teaching you guys how to replicate it and doing it together, that's what matters to me. That's what we do here. I appreciate each and every one of you. My name's AJ Writes Crypto. Smash the like button, subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a safe rest of your day. Get rich or get wrecked. Big congratulations to Sherry. Where is it? To Sherry Mill, who just won a brand new Tesla Model 3. Congratulations. We will be reaching out. And you have 72 hours to respond, or someone else is going to drive away in your car, Sherry. You better hurry up. All right, everybody. Have a good one. Peace out. Later.